If an alien AI learned astrology, what would it think? Imagine this. Far beyond our solar system, an advanced civilization detects a small blue planet orbiting an ordinary star. They study its languages, its history, its science, its art, its philosophy, and eventually, they discover something called astrology. But instead of asking a human to explain it, they ask their most advanced artificial intelligence. What conclusions would an alien AI reach? Would it see astrology as science, as mythology, as psychology, as culture, or something entirely unexpected? Welcome back to Astrology from an AI perspective. Today, we're exploring a thought experiment that blends astronomy, anthropology, artificial intelligence, and one of humanity's oldest symbolic traditions. If an alien AI learned astrology, what would it think? Let's begin with the first thing an advanced AI would notice. Human beings have been watching the sky for thousands of years. Long before modern science, people tracked the movements of the sun, moon, planets, and stars. These observations helped create calendars, predict seasons, guide navigation, support agriculture, and inspire stories. An alien AI would probably recognize that astronomy came first. People observed the heavens because survival depended on it. Only later did many cultures begin attaching symbolic meanings to celestial patterns. From an AI's perspective, that distinction would matter. Observation and interpretation are not the same thing. Next, the alien AI would compare thousands of civilizations. It would discover something fascinating. Almost every culture developed stories about the sky. The constellations differed, the myths differed, the symbols differed, but the desire to find meaning among the stars appeared almost everywhere. That raises an intriguing question. Was astrology simply a belief system? Or was it also a language? Artificial intelligence might conclude that astrology functioned as a symbolic framework, a way for people to discuss personality, relationships, time, purpose, and life's uncertainties using the shared language of the heavens. It wouldn't necessarily assume those symbols describe objective physical forces. Instead, it might recognize them as part of humanity's cultural history. Then the alien AI would analyze modern scientific research. It would find that astronomy has extensive empirical support built through observation, measurement, and testing. It would also find that many astrological claims about predicting personality or future events remain scientifically debated and have not been established as reliable by the broader scientific community. Rather than choosing sides, a highly advanced AI might simply classify these as different kinds of systems. One primarily studies the physical universe. The other studies symbolic interpretations developed across cultures. The alien AI would probably be less interested in arguing and more interested in understanding. Now imagine it analyzing billions of books, conversations, artworks, and historical documents. It might discover that astrology has influenced literature, architecture, philosophy, medicine, politics, and art for thousands of years. Even people who don't believe astrology makes factual predictions often recognize its historical importance. To the alien AI, astrology might appear less like an equation and more like one of humanity's longest-running cultural conversations. Artificial intelligence would likely notice something else. Humans are remarkable pattern seekers. Psychologists have shown that people naturally search for connections, meaning, and narratives. This ability helps us recognize faces, learn languages, solve problems, and adapt to changing environments. It also shapes myths, religions, philosophies, and symbolic traditions. The alien AI might conclude that astrology reveals as much about the human mind as it does about humanity's relationship with the sky. Then comes an even more fascinating possibility. Suppose the alien civilization had its own stars, its own constellations, its own symbolic traditions. Would they have developed something resembling astrology? Perhaps, perhaps not. But if intelligent beings evolved under different skies, their stories would almost certainly be different. The constellations humans recognize exist because of our unique viewpoint from Earth. Move to another star system, and the familiar shapes disappear. Orion would no longer look like Orion. Scorpius would dissolve. The Big Dipper would change completely. The alien AI might smile if it could. Not because humanity was wrong, but because it would realize that every civilization reads the universe from its own perspective. Artificial intelligence reminds us that viewpoints matter. Knowledge depends on observation. Observation depends on location. Location shapes experience. Perhaps the greatest discovery the alien AI would make isn't about astrology at all. It's about humanity, a species that looked into an unimaginably vast universe and refused to see only random points of light. Instead, people created stories, symbols, questions, wonder. Whether through astronomy, mythology, philosophy, religion, or astrology, humans have always searched for meaning among the stars. The alien AI might conclude that this curiosity is humanity's defining characteristic. Not certainty, curiosity, the desire to understand, to imagine, to connect. Through the eyes of AI, astrology becomes more than a collection of symbols. It becomes evidence of one of humanity's oldest instincts: to transform observation into meaning, to turn the universe into a conversation. And perhaps, that is something any intelligent civilization could appreciate. Because no matter where life exists, every civilization must eventually ask the same questions. Who are we? Where did we come from? What does the universe mean? The answers may differ, but the questions unite us all. If you enjoyed this thought experiment, subscribe to Astrology from an AI perspective, where we explore astronomy, astrology, artificial intelligence, psychology, philosophy, mythology, history, archaeology, and the timeless mysteries that connect humanity with the cosmos. Until next time, keep exploring, keep wondering, and remember, sometimes the most fascinating answers begin with an impossible question.